Hey everyone, welcome back to On the Fence Movie Reviews. I'm Adrian.
And I'm Rob.
So today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a spoiler review of Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, spoiler. Highly heavy spoilers.
Lots of spoilers.
We're spoiler free, huh?
Basically, I was almost going to say spoiler free, but I didn't. I caught myself.
Yeah, you did catch yourself. Almost like I'm going to catch his throat with my gun.
All right.
So go ahead.
We're going to do a spoiler review of Avengers Endgame, and we're going to talk top to bottom everything.
Everything?
So, yes, everything.
I'm going to be here for a while.
You've been warned.
Spoilers ahead. If you don't want to know what happens in Avengers Endgame, leave now. But no, don't leave. Don't leave. Just go watch the movie and then come back.
Just click pause on the video,
Yes.
watch Avengers Endgame, then come back and watch this video.
Yes.
All right, so Rob, let's jump right into it with spoilers, talking about the story and everything. What did you like? What didn't you like? Or, well, yeah, just give me the gist of everything.
Okay, what I liked. I love that final battle scene.
Okay.
And I'm not going in chronological order here. I did.
Okay.
That one took forever. So I'm just gonna jump all over the place. When Captain America gets Thor's hammer.
Mjolnir.
That was awesome. Like when he was wielding it, I had goosebumps. And then there's this one shot where like Thanos gets his army, and we'll go into all of that. But when his army's like coming, and Captain America's just standing there with his broken shield, like just waiting for them, I was like, this has got to be like a poster, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Still going into things I liked. The story was really good. One of the things I thought was kind of funny was Thor getting out of shape and kind of just giving up on life a little bit.
Yeah.
He's got Chris Hemsworth with
He lets himself go
with a gut. Yeah, that was funny. The story, just everything was. I mean, it was just all I can say is like it was an awesome movie. Everything they did in this movie was great. Like it was just So I don't know what did you like about?
Well, I will go in chronological order,
Okay,
and
go ahead.
we'll get through it. I'll take my time.
Go ahead, take your time, and then I'll add on to what you're saying.
And you'll interrupt me.
Yes, and I'll interrupt you. I can because I have the gauntlet.
True. Anyway, I'm going to start off right from the beginning. I'm going to start off right from the. Wow.
That's funny. Go ahead.
I'm going to start right off from the beginning. You know what? We find Hawkeye, his family. That part really it sets up the emotional tone for the film.
Yes.
And I like that.
I had a little tear in my eye.
Yeah.
When that happened.
And so it basically finds us right where we left off. Thanos wipes everybody out. Tony Stark is floating out in space. You know. He might live, he might die, we don't know.
He's with Nebula, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yes,
Nebula. And so eventually Captain Marvel comes and rescues them, brings them back to Earth, and they say, okay, well, let's go get this guy. Tony Stark is very ill, so he stays back. The remaining group, Rocket, War Machine, Captain Marvel, all the other ones that are still alive, they all go out in space and go find Thanos. And what happens? Thor just gets angry and kills him. So, wow, it was like, okay.
He not only kills him, he takes Thanos' advice and he goes for the head.
Yeah, that line, though, was great, though. He's like, I went for the head.
Yes.
You know? And so to see them 5 years later after that, where they were, and like you said, Chris Hemsworth, fat, out of shape, lets himself go. Hawkeye just becomes the character Ronin. He's just taking out all cartels and
murderous vigilante.
Yeah, he's just wiping everybody out, and I thought that was pretty cool. His character, what they did with his character, really worked for me. Actually, I felt like they did the most to build his character in this film than they did with other films. He was more of a footnote in the other films, but this one they really give him a lot of depth, and I really like that Jeremy Renner got a chance to shine in this film. The other things is the way it kind of just builds. Okay, we're building up to something. Okay, Ant-Man shows up. Hey, I was stuck in the quantum realm. Time, space don't work the way it does here.
But how does he get out of the quantum realm?
I think it was a rat.
A rat, yeah.
It just clicks the button and it just gets out. And I was like,
I thought that was kind of cool that it wasn't like this like elaborate plan or anything. No one even knew that he was in the quantum realm.
Yeah, he was in like some storage facility, right?
The band was in a storage facility, and it was just some random rat walking through there and stepped on the controller and let him free.
Comes right out, and so then what?
Just
anyway,
the way you
sorry, that was an awkward
it.
noise I made with my mouth.
Described it.
Anyway, so anyway, they come up with this plan. Tony Stark is like, they approach him. Hey, we need your help. Can you help us basically control time and space, build something to basically harness that so we can pinpoint. First he's like, no, then he figures it out. With Tony's conscience is like, I can't rest. I need to do something. I need to bring these people back. But he's got a lot on the line.
I feel like at that moment where you're talking about where he's battling in his mind, that when they're when him and Pepper are talking about this on the couch was really emotional. Like, and she even goes into that, like she knows how he is.
Yeah.
And she's like, because he's just like, I can, like he says in the movie, I'm paraphrasing, but about taking how he discovered this time travel. I can take that information and just throw it away.
Bury it in the lake.
And go to rest. But Pepper knows him. She's like, but you won't be able to rest. So she kind of, I feel like she nudges him a little into his decision of helping the other Avengers.
Yeah, she does. And, and that was what's great about it is that, he's a hero. Ultimately, Tony Stark has always been a hero from the get-go. When he became Iron Man, he was a hero, and he always felt that he had to do what was right. And so that's what he was doing. So he shows up, helps them, and so off we go into the quantum realm. They go into the quantum realm, and lo and behold, now they're it becomes a time heist movie. And this is the thing that was interesting to me about the film. It was almost like 3 different things that happened. It was like each act: the build, the time heist, and then the climax. The time heist was fun. It was great. Very important that you see the previous films. Mainly, I would say the Avenger films.
Yes.
Doctor Strange. What was the other one?
You definitely need to see that.
Thor. What's funny though is that they do stuff with Thor 2, or not Ragnarok, but the Dark World.
Yes.
And it was like, it almost gave probably one of the worst MCU films a purpose to go back and watch it.
Yes.
But they do something with that, Guardians of the Galaxy, and I like the way they just tie everything back in.
Yeah.
And it was great to see that, and it was fun, and there's some good moments in there that I really liked and enjoyed. And then finally, when we come out, they get the stones. In the middle there, Thanos figures out, because Nebula somehow tied with her past self, and
connect.
And it kind of projects on the past Nebula what's going on, what the plan is. Thanos finds out, and oh man.
Oh yeah, Thanos wrecks shop when
exactly
when he finds out what's going on.
Exactly, and so he sends Nebula back with them. She figures out how to pull his ship back in to the present day. He gets there and he realizes they have all 5 Infinity Stones. Now I'm gonna get there and I know what I need to do, and it sets us up for this epic battle at the very end, which was entirely insane.
Pretty much epic.
There's no other word to describe it. It is an epic battle. It is crazy over the top.
Yes.
But there are some really awesome moments in that battle where you get Captain America, who wields the hammer because he's worthy. Yes, he is worthy. And at that fight scene, once he gets the hammer and he fights with Thanos, that fight scene just between the two when he has the hammer, best part
awesome.
For me, it was the best part. Like, it was really awesome. The crowd lost it when they saw that part.
Oh yeah, I thought it was funny, just because like what was it? Was it the second? It was the second Avenger, Ultron.
Okay.
When Captain America, he nudges Thor's
it just
hammer,
nudges a little bit, and that look on his face, like.
And then in this movie, when the hammer comes, Thanos is, beating up Thor.
Yeah.
And then the hammer just comes flying and hits Thor, and then you see it fly back, and it's Captain America holding the hammer. And then Thor's like, he says something like, I knew it. I knew it. It was just funny to me because it was like, it was just harkens back to, Ultron, where he was like kind of scared, and then now just for him to be like, I knew it. It was just that was one of those little things that was kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
Made me laugh. But
No, yeah.
definitely that scene where him and Thanos are going at it, and he has the hammer was just
it was
awesome.
It was great. It was I loved it. The whole end scene was phenomenal.
Yes,
it was great. And then the payoff at the very end where
the payoff. Yes, you want to talk about that? Because
I'm just gonna need a moment.
Here's the thing. Is not even joking. Like,
did you cry?
These were like my eyes might get a little watery now. These were tears of like not like sadness or happiness. It was like tears of amazementness when all those portals started opening.
Okay.
And the Avengers who were dusted came back.
Yeah. You know what? That part, you know what you did. You do get the chills, you get the feels, all that. They all come back through the portal, and it was like, this is awesome. You know, you see that. And then when Spider-Man, the moment with Tony Stark.
When I was talking about that shot that I said earlier, where it was like Captain America with his busted shield and the entire army coming, and it was cool because you're like you hear in his earpiece, Falcon saying like he was just like, oh, Captain. It was very like vague, and he's just kind of like listening, and then they start to show up, and it was just like.
You see Black Panther step through the portal there, and then the rest of them all follow suit, and it was great. I just thought that whole scene, and then when they all start charging each other, you see all the characters that you recognize from all the films fight, and it was like, man, this is awesome. This is what it built up to.
Yes. 22 movies.
Yeah.
This is the 22nd movie of payoff right there. Because that was just epic. There's no other word for that.
And then finally at the very end where Thanos, you know, gets the gauntlet, and you see Doctor Strange, he kind of does the one, like, you know, this is that one moment. This is that one time.
Yes.
And Tony Stark knows what he has to do.
Yes.
He goes, gets the stones, puts them on his Iron Man suit, and you hear what Thanos says. He's like, I'm inevitable. And then Tony Stark, with the best line in the entire movie, he's like, yeah, and I'm Iron Man. Snaps his finger and dusts the entire army of Thanos and Thanos himself. And you know what? It was great. It was something that was different. Again, I felt like it was a lot of things going on.
Yes.
It's a lot to compartmentalize and try to make.
It was a lot to take in. It definitely, when you're this movie, I mean, if you like it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will, you're gonna need to see it. I would say at the minimum 2 times to really catch everything that's going on.
Yeah, at a very minimum, because there's a lot going on. You know, I don't feel like if you just watch it once, you're gonna be lost and have no clue what's going on. But I will say, if you want to catch all the little Easter eggs, all the little references, all the everything, you might want to watch it 2 or 3 times. And you know, it was something that was really awesome. And I think, you know, for Marvel to do this and play the long game, to build up to this was building.
Yes.
They built up to this. And I think this is why they're so successful, because they planned this out. You know, it wasn't just
years.
It wasn't just like, oh, we're gonna make a team up movie and let's go shoot it tomorrow. It was like, no, we need to build up to that. And so to have that pay off and come back full circle, going back to Iron Man and sort of ending with Iron Man, as it started with Iron Man, it was something that was great. And
what did you? I don't know if you cried. Because I got a little emotional. So,
no, I don't cry.
So when Tony puts the Infinity Stones in his suit and snaps his fingers, and you see him, you know, after everyone gets dusted, and Thanos is the last one, you know, he kind of falls to the floor, and you see him start to get dusted, but then you see what happens to Tony, and I don't know if you want to elaborate on that.
I will say, I did get a little, that my allergies were really bad.
Yeah, part of it was dusty and that. My allergies aren't acting up. I cried.
At least you're man enough to admit it, not me. Okay, I cried. I cried a little bit. Okay, especially the part where, you know, it had kind of kind of like a 180 or a reverse, where it was, instead of, you know, Peter Parker getting dusted, I don't want to go. That was the most emotional part of Infinity War. Yes. It was like, Mr. Stark, we won, and it was kind of like it was like his hero, his mentor was dying right before him, and again, same thing. It's like he couldn't do anything about it, and so that was the part that got really emotional.
And I got a little more emotional, or maybe it was just dust in the air. I don't know. But when Pepper comes and she like tells Tony like, you know, it's okay. We're gonna be okay. Yeah, we're gonna be okay. Yeah, you know, you can. She says like, you can rest now, or so. You can relax. I think it's you can rest now. That was just like, oh, like I'm so emotional.
Yeah, exactly. That really stuck with me. And then like the whole like funeral scene and the part when after they have the funeral and you have Happy sitting next to his daughter. I can't remember, what was the daughter's name?
I don't remember.
Okay, well anyway, the daughter's sitting there, and he's like, "How you doing, Squirt or Sport, whatever he calls her?" And then and she's like, "I'm good." And it was like to see like the little girl there, you know. And then he's like, "You hungry?" And she's like, "Yeah." Yes. And she's like, "Hey, what do you want?" She's like, "Cheeseburgers." And immediately the first thing I thought was, I remember the part when Iron Man, from the first Iron Man, he gets off the airplane, he's like, I want to stop for a cheeseburger. Yes. And it was kind of like, again, it was like things kind of coming back full circle. And it was very emotional. Yes. And, you know, so that was the end of Tony Stark's character arc. And so it was awesome. It was beautiful, and it was a wonderful payoff. And then let's talk about Captain America.
Yes.
Okay, he has all 5 stones. He has to return them back to the place of origin, which he does. And then they try to bring him back, and it was like, well, where is he? And they turn around, and he's not coming back. Bring him back. And they turn around, and here's Steve Rogers, you know, old and probably,
old,
you know,
Steve Rogers.
Yeah, like, you know. He's just, you know, and he's sitting there.
He looks
and
like he's like in his 80s.
Something, and he's looking, and he's older, like, you know, he lived life.
Yes.
Was something that eluded him, like that something, you know, that was robbed of him. Right. You know, when he, from the first Captain America, and you know, he's like, he's like, I lived, you know, he lived his life, and he hands the shield to Falcon, and that was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. I don't know if Falcon's gonna be. Do you think Falcon will be the next Captain America?
I think they will.
Really?
Give it to him. I know some people say, well, Bucky Barnes is the character that usually picks up in the comics, that picks up the shield, but I feel like they're gonna go more with Falcon, just because of the current relationship that he had with him, you know, and so he's gonna carry it on. And I think Bucky Barnes they're gonna probably do something a little bit more different with him.
I mean, the only reason I mean, I know like in the comics, Bucky does usually take up the mantle, but I figure in the movies maybe Bucky would too, just because he also has that serum in him, and I think Falcon does not. He just has the suit, so it'd be a little difficult to have Captain America's strength when you don't have Captain America's strength.
It'll be interesting what they do with the next phase.
The next phase of movies.
But the last thing I wanted to say was that this through Captain America's journey throughout all of his films, they always reference back to Peggy, like that was his thing.
His lost love. Yeah,
and he's like, you want to tell me about that girl when we see the wedding ring? Yeah. And he's like, no. And then they cut back to that time when he went back, and he's there with her, and he's dancing with her. And that was the beautiful thing about it, because at the end of the first Avenger, Captain America, where, you know, he's crashing the plane into the ice, it's like he's talking to her, and he's like, you know, he's setting up a date with her, and he's like, you know, we're going to go dancing. And so, again, for him to come back around and
full circle once again.
To have that dance finally, dance with the one he loves. And so that was, again,
Which
beautiful,
is a magical.
It was a beautiful ending for the characters, and you know, so overall, a lot to take in, a lot to talk about, but you know, it was a great film.
It was,
and I can't recommend that people watch it enough.
Same here. I mean, all the it's just it. I mean, I'm trying to think how to explain it. It is like everything coming full circle. All the not so much. It's just all your time that you invested into these movies. Yeah. It's just like it's almost not. I don't want to be one of those people who's like, these are my family. But it's like, you have a connection to these characters on the movie, and you see their story arcs come.
Yeah, I think anybody who's invested the time with basically all of these films, all of these characters, you're going to be rewarded when you go watch this film because you're going to notice all of those things. And I think that's what was so great about it.
Yes.
If you kind of just went in there and watched like 1 or 2 films and maybe just Infinity War, you might be a little bit lost. You'll still enjoy it, I think, but you'll probably be a little bit lost. And those moments that we're talking about that bring everything back around might not land as strongly for you. So. But again, it's still a good film.
It's awesome.
And it'd be good to for anybody that's watching, if you haven't seen all the MCU films, go back and watch all of them and make your own mind and opinion of what you feel about the MCU as a whole. But yeah, no, I think this is awesome. I'm excited to see what the next phase is because again, this was such a build up to this. What they do with it, I don't know.
I am excited to see what's next, but at the same time, I just kind of want to like bask here in this moment. Yeah. It's like I want this.
What's funny is that you're talking about that. I think I almost feel like they should move Spider-Man Far Away From Home. Like they should just move it back a year. Yeah. Because it's just
not even a year, but I mean just to give us some time.
Yeah, because I mean that one's coming out in another 2 to 3 months, and it's kind of like, oh, we just got Endgame, and I don't know if I'm ready to jump back in quite yet to a new phase. Let me like what you're saying. Let me just take it all in.
Yeah, this is just. I just want to again. We're gonna go see the movie again. But it's I just want to bask in this amazement. Yeah. This was a theatrical, a cinematic adventure, and now it's to the end, and it's I just want to the payoff was there, and I just want to it to rain down all everything upon me, and just enjoy what Endgame was, because it was an awesome movie.
Yeah. Guys, thanks for watching. This was such a great experience. We hope you enjoyed Endgame. Let us know what you felt about Endgame in the comment section below. And be sure to like, subscribe, share, follow us on social. And remember,
we'll catch you on the fence.